Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Womansplain. Today, we have an amazing guest I'm so excited to have on, Odellia. She is a private chef and founder of Mize Dining, an exciting new dining experience and catering company, which I personally had the amazing pleasure to eat, and it was awesome. I'm going to pass it over to her to do a little intro, and we'll dive into her story.
So my name's Odellia. First of all, thank you for having
Oh my gosh,
me.
thanks for coming on. I'm so
I
excited.
so yeah, I started Mize Dining about 3, 4 months ago, and it really happened so spontaneously, but it's totally been like the most incredible experience. Um, Honestly, even though it's been a few months and I've done like a dozen of dinners, it
Oh
still
my
just
gosh,
feels
that's
like
a lot.
it really just feels like a dream and like this unreal experience to wake up in the morning and just be able to like be in control of my day to day and what I do. And honestly, just being able to wake up and be excited for work.
So
It's
That's
excited to
unreal.
amazing. I love
hear.
that. Oh my gosh,
But
I
yeah,
can just see your passion.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I
So
know you had a corporate background
yes,
before.
yes.
So I guess let's start with what did you study in college and what was your
Yeah.
first job after college?
So it's actually interesting because I was always very like unsure of what I wanted to do, and this like really stems down all the way until like middle school to high school to college. I was always unsure of what to study. I even switched my major several times like within college, and I ended up studying marketing. Um I was honestly like unsure of what to get into, so I said I'll just like take the normal path, like go into business, go into marketing, and figure it out. After college, I ended up working at a retailer and doing financial planning for 3 years. And it was definitely a very like good experience. It shaped me into who I am in so many ways. I definitely learned so many skills that helped me run a business today. And I, of course, like my first year at my corporate job it was filled with so much excitement. I felt like so excited to be like going into work every day and like commuting to the city and like, doing this corporate job and working so hard and like having such a great team. But after like the comfort went away, I was almost like thinking like, what's next?
yeah.
What's next, you know?
And why did you decide financial planning from marketing?
Why did I decide? Honestly, after
Yeah.
college, I was looking for a
Yeah.
job and I interviewed a ton, and it was the best thing, like the best
Mhm.
opportunity there. And it was also just such a great company.
Yeah.
Just definitely like, yeah, a great company with like, yeah, just
A lot of support.
a lot of
Yeah.
support. And I've heard from others it was a great company to work at.
Mhm.
So yeah, I gave it a shot.
And it's a good skill set to have.
Yeah,
Totally.
And something
yeah,
that you probably use with,
yeah,
having your own company.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
And tell me about cooking. So I feel like it's something you definitely grew up
yeah.
doing. You definitely have like a family history of that. Was it something you always loved? Just tell us a little bit about your background in that.
So, my background with cooking, it was definitely always something I loved. Growing up, like my earliest memory of cooking was definitely with my mother. She was just, first of all, she was an amazing cook, but also food was always more than just like something to fuel like me and my siblings with. We were like a big family, and I remember from like such a young age, I would come home and it was never just like a bag of chips for like a snack. It was always like a beautiful like vegetable platter and like dips and everything. And just from a young age, food was just like a way of showing love. And I feel like I got that from my mother. So growing up, I would always like love to cook for people. And like even like in high school when my like friends would come over or anything, the first thing I would do was like cook. So that's really where like the love for cooking came from. And it's actually funny because deep down, I always like dreamt of having cooking as my career.
Wow.
But I always thought, I thought the space was too crowded because there's so many people in the food industry. And I always thought it was just more of a dream that I would like tuck away and like think about in my head, but I didn't think it could actually like come to life. Um, but yeah, while I was working my corporate job, towards my last year, that's when I was really itching for something else. And I was applying to so many jobs, but nothing felt right. And I think it's because I I didn't want to work like under someone anymore. I think I was like craving something like where I was able to show my creativity, and like I knew I had something in me. I wasn't sure what it was. So for around like a year, I was really just like exploring that. And there's like a whole like Mize just came into place. The story about how like Mize happened, it's honestly like it's really like unreal.
Oh my God, well, tell us.
You
Okay, we
tell
have
us
to know.
now.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, it was basically like looking for something else to get into, and basically it was my sister's birthday, and we wanted to get a private chef for her for like just a cute little like 20-person brunch. We wanted to get a private
Aw.
chef, but everyone essentially was just like, you know what, Odellia, like you just cook. Like, you know, we don't have to pay for a private chef. Everyone knew I love to cook. Everyone's like, Odellia, you cook, you cook. I'm like, okay. So I quickly like planned and put together a brunch menu. I woke up that Sunday morning like super early, put together like a whole extravagant brunch. I wasn't thinking twice about like even making it beautiful. I was like, let me just wake up, cook for a bunch of girls, like, and make like just feed everyone.
Have you cooked for that many people before?
I have like in my home growing up, we always like loved to host, and I would always like cook for everyone. So I've actually like I've cooked for like 100 people in my house.
Oh my gosh.
Not
I've
your
cooked.
first rodeo.
I've cooked, not my first rodeo, but it was definitely like it was. I felt like I was like replacing a private chef in a way. Like we wanted,
Yeah.
we all wanted to get a private chef. We said, Odellia, like you replace the private chef.
And it's like also it's a little different when you're like with your family home. Like you
Yeah.
have probably support from your mom
Absolutely,
or your
yeah.
aunt or like your
Yeah.
cousin, versus you're
Yeah.
like, I'm doing this all on my own.
Yeah.
It's in front of your friends
And
too.
my friends
Which
too.
is like different.
Yeah,
And your friends
everyone's-
probably aren't like great cooks. Like they're not gonna like step in if you have a problem. Do you understand?
Yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
oh, you can't ask my sister, it's her birthday.
Yeah, and I was
So that
trying
is,
to
like,
impress my friends.
Yeah, so this is like a totally
Yeah.
different thing. You're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, like I am the chef
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
like I'm cooking for my family, even if
Yeah.
it's 100 people.
Yeah, and I think like also knowing again that like we were going to like hire a private chef, and like I was like replacing that role later on, like that's like what sat with me. But yeah, basically I did this brunch and it ended up looking so beautiful. We all like posted it online. I woke up the next morning and my phone like blew up with comments being like, did you make this? Did you make this? This is beautiful. That morning, literally it begun. Literally, and I actually I recently like, because this all happened so quickly, I forgot like what even happened. But I literally went through my phone and I saw the morning after my sister's birthday 100 screenshots of like menus and food, and literally it was like 8 a.m. the next morning. I was like, I think it clicked to me that I felt so much like love and passion doing something, so I wanted more. I wasn't sure what exactly was going to happen next, but I knew I like wanted more. I wanted more of whatever that like Sunday morning was, of like bringing like all my sister's best friends together, having them all like smile and like enjoy this like delicious meal. Like I just like knew I needed more of that.
Wow, I love that story.
Yeah, I know. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's also like cute how it like ties down to like
Your family.
sister,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
yeah.
Okay, so you had this idea, you had this amazing
Yeah.
brunch. You're still at your corporate job.
Yeah, still
You
at my
like
corporate
keep
job.
thinking about,
Yeah.
making this happen. So
Yeah.
how do you actually go about launching?
Yeah. So from that moment, I honestly just started speaking to anyone like who knew anything about the food industry. I spoke to my best friend's like uncle who did catering. I spoke to like friends who had a friend who owned restaurants. I spoke to anyone to just, I spoke to a friend who had like a supper club, just anyone who could give me any information on like what's going on in the food industry right now, because I had no idea. And I got a lot of advice. I got a lot of good advice, and I think that's what led me to like overall like a successful brand. I, rather than like just jumping into starting this like private chefing like brand, I went and I like, while I was still at my corporate job, I started like really thinking through like if I could do this. I went and I made a business plan. I went and I started creating menus. I went and I started cooking for my family like more. Me and my family were laughing because we remember I would literally like go to the Union Square Farmers Market, fill up like 5 bags of groceries, commute back. I'm living in the city, but I would commute all the way back to Great Neck with all these groceries,
gosh.
cook home. And I'm like, guys, I'm taking care of dinner tonight. Like, And meanwhile, I had a list of like millions of recipes I wanted to test. Dinner was ready by like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
By the way, they wanted to
They're like
kill
sleeping, but it's
No,
fine. They'll get up.
they wanted to kill me. I did this like several times a week. I was like, guys, I want to like practice cooking.
Mhm.
Like, let me take care of dinner. I'd cook like a 10-course meal. They'd be ready by like literally 11 p.m. But I basically just spent like this month like really like seeing if this could work. Yeah.
And then were you doing events before you quit?
I wasn't doing necessarily events, but I started cooking for my friends a lot. Like my friend had like a 50-person dinner and she's like, Odellia, do you want to do this? I was like, yes. I took any opportunity I could to start testing recipes, seeing if I really love this, because I think it's one thing to cook once in a while for like friends and family, but I started doing it like a lot that month. And I cooked for just so many friends. During like that month when I was figuring it out, I really cooked a lot. Yeah. But no events yet.
No events yet.
And
Yeah.
how did you land on being a private chef for sure? Like, I feel
Yeah.
like you are, like, obviously you had this amazing event for your
Yeah.
sister and,
Yeah.
like, reignited this love of food.
Yeah.
But did you think about going in another direction? Like, you can cook in so many ways.
Yeah.
You, could have gone to culinary school.
Yeah.
You could have, like, gone and worked at, like, I don't know,
Restaurant.
Gramercy. Yeah, Gramercy Tavern. You could have gone and, like, worked at Quality Eats. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of made you think this is what you wanted?
So I think it was a few things. I think the first thing was I knew whatever I did, I wanted it to be mine.
Yeah.
I wanted to be my own boss. So I really took out the option of like working in a restaurant or anything like that. I knew I just wanted to create something of my own. And actually prior I even was like thinking of opening a cafe. Like I just like I really needed something that was like Odelia's. But I think really that month where my friends were like trusting me with like their dinner parties and I was cooking for them, that just felt so right. It felt so right. But yeah.
So tell us about the first event
Yes.
you did ever and
Okay,
how
the
you got
first,
it.
like,
Like the
legit-
first paid event.
Yeah. First paid event. Again.
And how did you land?
And how'd
that
you
Unreal
land
one?
it?
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend called me up and she goes, Odellia, I want to have 100-person Hamptons dinner. Our friends will be there. My brother's friends will be there. My parents' friends will be there. Do you want to do it?
Oh my God.
And I feel like this girl, she was one of my best friends, but I think that, and this still wasn't my first event. This was still like, this was just like another, like for me, another opportunity. And again, I wasn't, doing this to get paid or anything. It was really like out of love to learn and like really see if this is what I wanted to do. So I did the dinner. It went so well. I get a call 2 days later. I get a call. I'm like, who's this? I pick up and he's like, hi, Odellia. I was at that dinner. Your food was amazing. I loved everything about the way you presented everything. I loved the way you carried yourself. Like you seemed very like, you just seemed like you loved what you were doing. I'm having an investors dinner in 1 week for a brand. It ended up being one of my favorite brands ever. He's like, do you want to do it?
Wow.
I'm like, yes. He's like, okay, I am trusting you with the menu, with the logistics, the coordination, everything. It's 60 people. Just show up and make it good.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I literally hang up the phone. And like a lot of people, when I obviously wanted to quit my job, of course, a lot of people were like, you want to be a private chef? Like, you want to quit your, your stable. I had it really good. I had like a stable job that I loved. I loved my team. I loved the people around me. Like, everything was so right. I wanted to go like leave all of this to take like such a risk of becoming like a private chef. A lot of people questioned me. I honestly, like for the first time in my life, I really took out all the outside noise and I just trusted like myself and my gut. Something told me that this was going to work and this was the moment I was waiting for. And like once I got that call, it just confirmed everything.
Yeah.
I went down and I told, I was home in Long Island and I went down and I told my parents and my family. I was like, guys, like I'm officially a private chef. I have a 60-person dinner.
You're like, I'm my first paid gig. I'm a professional. Yeah.
Yes.
I have my first paid dinner for this brand. Everyone's like, what? Like, everyone was just like, what? It
Can you tell us the brand?
was Coconut Cult.
Oh my
What?
god.
Yeah.
That's really
I love
cool.
Coconut
Shout out
Cult.
Coconut
Shout
Cult.
out
That's really
Coconut Cult.
cool.
I love them.
I take it every morning.
I love them. I really love them so much. And it wasn't only like, again, a brand that I loved. It was a brand that like I stood by and I respected. Like I always was very into health and wellness. And I feel like it really just started my journey right.
What an
in every
amazing
way
first
possible.
event.
I
Like your
literally,
favorite
yeah,
brand.
know.
I literally love that. I also love that your event before this, which is how you obviously
Yeah.
really started your company,
Yeah.
was like you just took it because you wanted to. Like I
Yeah.
love that attitude. I feel like you were
Yeah.
just like, yes, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. And then you get this event, you're so excited. Tell us about the
Yes.
process of like, how are you gonna cook for 60 people?
Okay.
How are you gonna do
In
this?
1 week.
It's you.
In 1 week,
Like,
yeah.
yes, exactly.
Oh my. So I honestly, I worked really hard. I worked really hard that week.
Mhm.
I said like my reputation, my company, everything starts from like this night. Whatever like Mize Dining is going to be, it starts from like this dinner in the Hamptons. So of course, like I already had like my business plan. I had some menus set. Like my goal was before I quit my job. By the way, job has been quit.
Okay, yeah, I remember. Well, you told us. Sorry,
We
I
didn't even
guess.
get into it when I
Yes.
quit my job.
No,
It was-
100%.
Wait,
When
after
did
your first event?
I quit. When did I quit? It was before like my first event.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just during like it was while I was, building my business plan and figuring it all out. While I had my I had my like Instagram set. I had like people starting to talk about how like Odellia is becoming a private chef. I had like friends and families who were like telling me like we're gonna hire you. Like the word of mouth was spreading.
Mhm.
I felt like comfortable enough and like secure enough that I knew it was gonna work before I quit. I definitely didn't just like wake up and quit.
Yeah.
I thought about it before, and then once I was ready to like dedicate like 24/7 to Mize Dining, I quit.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
I love that. Okay, honestly, okay, great. So you quit. You
quit.
have your first event.
I have my first event within like literally like a few weeks. I have my first event.
That's crazy.
And I also told myself like I was gonna give like Mize Dining a shot. And if it was, I gave myself like a time. I said like within like 2-3 months, I'll go like hard. If it works, amazing. If not, you're going back into the corporate world.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The safe.
And that
safety net.
was really my motivation
Yeah.
to wake up every morning and like try harder and harder and harder and like make sure every dinner was more perfect and perfect and perfect. Because I said like I want this to be like the rest of my life. I need it to be the rest of my life.
So the first
Yeah.
event went amazing.
First event went amazing. So what was the process? I basically spent that week. Of course, I went ahead and I like created the menu. I got that to him within like 24 hours. It was a great menu. And like what I loved about this night was they wanted it to be like everything like no seed oil free, like processed sugar free. It was dairy free. And I hold those like core like all my food until today is like seed oil free and like processed sugar free. It just like really start me off. It set my standards for the rest of my dinners. So yeah, I created a menu. I made sure I was like super organized. I went and I bought like dishes and everything. All like I created like my knife bag. I did everything in 1 week. I did everything that probably it takes like a chef to do in like within a few months. I got like everything together in a week. My team was literally my aunt and my sister. They like came to the dinner with me. And I made sure to watch a ton of videos of like other chefs, doing dinners because I wanted to make sure I had like the right etiquette and I was like, proper and clean and like, I was going into someone's home. I wanted to make sure I respected like everything around me.
Mhm.
So yeah, I showed up to the house in the morning and it's just like everything went so smoothly and well. I was very organized with everything, like, and how I wanted to like time everything and have everything out and like the appetizers out by a certain time. And like, I made sure to like designate tasks to like my sister and my aunt who like are also just like amazing cooks. So it was very helpful. And it just went amazing. That night was the first night I really felt like a chef. Yeah. And there was just like so much beauty behind it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think something that, like, obviously you are very artsy, and I feel like you
Yeah.
know how to, the tablescape
Yeah.
and place things, and it's not just about cooking the food.
Yeah.
It's about creating the
Yeah.
menu, curating it,
Yeah.
sourcing good ingredients, like timing the courses, as you mentioned, like when are appetizers going out, when's the entree. There's like so much going into it.
Yeah.
How did you kind of think about all of those different aspects other than just cooking?
Yeah. So I think something I'm very big on when it comes to food, and I was always like that growing up, is like the attention to detail. And I think it's what's helped me like grow so quickly as a private chef. When I do a dinner, I will like research for a few days like where I'm getting an ingredient from. If I'm doing like an Italian dinner, I'm not just getting like cheese from the supermarket.
Yeah.
I'll like make sure to go to a supermarket where I'm getting like cheese that's like imported from Italy. And I really mean that. I think I've also been always been very into like supermarkets. So I think like I enjoy that part. But again, I think the whole like creative side and like making sure I source good ingredients. I did that for my first dinner, and I loved the turnout, and the reaction I got was so good. I knew I had to like keep those standards of like the really good ingredients, like this beautiful presentation. Um and I think also the creative side and like the beautiful tablescapes. I think I found that passion as I was cooking. I didn't mean to make the tables so beautiful. I think it just like as I was setting the tables, I was like, ooh, let me put this here, let me add this. And I think I discovered that passion like as I was, hosting more events.
I mean, that's such an
Interesting.
important
Oh, it
part.
is.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I remember from when
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
discovered you. I was
I
like,
mean,
everything's
dinner
so
was
beautiful.
fun,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if we said this, but this is how we found Delia.
Yes.
We went to an industry event. We went to this beautiful, like, kind of investor dinner.
Yeah.
And I was, like, in awe of the food.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
amazing. It was
Beautiful
so well
and
presented. I also
amazing.
feel like I mean, I feel like I've been to a lot of those events in my career. I spent almost 9 years in finance. I felt like the food felt so relatable to me. I feel like I feel like you actually bring this really new edge to probably being a private chef, where it's like you're young and like female and like trendy, and like the food feels like casual but elevated, and something I would
And
really
very healthy,
eat,
like
and
the
very
no seed
healthy.
oils.
Versus like I think of like when think of just the word private chef, it's like, oh, this like crazy luxurious experience that's not attainable and not repeatable either. But I feel like you bring this really nice homey to it, but it's also beautiful. I don't know. It's really impressive. I was just like so in awe. I was like, I love her. I remember you chatted. I was like, she
We
needs to
have
come
to be
on the pod.
pod.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so
So I love it. But I love it. Okay.
That's so sweet.
And how I feel like too, I mean, so, and then obviously you grow. So you do another 60-person event. You do it for Coconut Cult. That's
Yeah.
amazing. And then what kind of happens after that? You kind of blow up?
After that, so many people from the dinner contacted me.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's where I discovered really like I think like I wasn't sure what success would mean in this industry, but I think like seeing clients from like a current dinner call me, that is just the best feeling in the world.
It's incredible.
Even having you guys reach out to me
Yeah.
after,
No, absolutely.
that's like what this is all about for me, making people happy and like, knowing like I filled your tummies with like good food. That's like, and knowing like even you saying it was like a home cooked meal and healthy, like that's what I love. And like being able to share that with you guys and everyone is really all I need. But yeah, basically, so it's actually really funny. So because I quit my job, I booked like a trip away.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, I need to
Yeah.
like go away.
Yes.
You're fun employed, like, let's go.
I was like,
yeah.
I'm fun employed. This is the first time since middle school. I have no
Literally.
responsibility.
Responsibilities. Yeah, no.
I don't have school. I don't have work. You know?
Yeah.
And I thought this would take a while to pick up. So a week after the Coconut Cults event, I had like 2-3 more clients who like were from the event. And while I was away, basically my phone was blowing up. I remember the moment. I remember my sisters and my friends at one point were like, we need to enjoy this trip. I was like, guys, I think my company's about to start.
Wow.
It
For
was
like other
unreal.
events.
I was getting like the most insane calls, like brands, influencers. Like I had someone call and like be like, can I fly you out with me and my family on my trip? Can you like live? Like I was getting the most insane calls just from the 4 dinners I did.
Wow.
Yeah, it was unreal.
I mean,
It was
there's not
unreal.
that many, I think, young private chefs in New
Yeah.
York. There's obviously Wishbone Kitchen, who blew
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
But I think she was like the first one to kind
Yeah.
of make that
Yeah.
accessible.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So
I think and honestly, I think what really stuck to people was that the food tasted delicious, but it was healthy.
Totally. I think
Mhm.
that's like, it was
That's what
really
everyone
unique because I feel like when people hire a chef, I feel like there is
Yeah.
like, oh, it has to be this like crazy, like rich, luxurious
Yeah.
like thing. And I feel like the food you make is obviously amazing. Like I can't, like no one can make it, but it feels like, it just feels like, I don't know, more normal. Like I don't know
Yeah,
how else to
no.
describe it.
very
But
like
it's
farm
like,
to table.
yeah, like it feels like I can eat it
Yeah.
and not be like
Yeah.
dying. Do you know,
Yeah.
like, and that's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
nice. And it just feels a little like it's obviously super elevated, but way more attainable.
Yeah.
And then I also think there are a lot of people that are like private chefs that are just employed by like families. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if there are how many people have really become like, you really have this niche of like not a caterer because you're
Yeah.
not,
Mhm.
right? And you're not like
Absolutely.
catering these huge things. It's like you're actually really are just doing these like kind of pretty intimate events,
Yeah.
which have also recently taken off
Yeah.
in this like community, like sort of like social media. Like there's a lot, that's such a thing now of like these
Mhm.
community events. So I feel like you kind of picked up on this market trend on
At the same
accident.
time.
I don't
Yeah.
really know.
It was on accident. It
Yeah.
really was. And I think it's as you guys mentioned, like I do get all my produce farm to table. I'm seed oil free. I'm processed sugar free. I use such wholesome, good ingredients. Like I could almost promise you, even if I'll make you a pasta, like you won't feel sick.
Yeah.
You're gonna like feel good about what you're eating. And it's because that's the way I was brought up eating. And it brought me so much joy, and I want to share that. I want to share this like delicious, healthy food with everyone. It's so important. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. How do you come up with your recipes?
Honestly, I will sometimes literally be up all night thinking about recipes.
You make your own?
Really?
No,
Oh
it's
my
I'll be
gosh.
like if I have like, like a dinner coming up and they like requested a few things, I'll be up all night like thinking about it. That's how much
Yeah.
that's how much like I love
Aw.
it.
That's so cute.
But really a combination of like definitely like recipes I grew up with. And then honestly, my cooking style was always like just be in the kitchen and like, put something together and hope it tastes good. But I definitely like recipe tests before dinners, and I have just like my little organized
Yeah.
recipe.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm sure you have like
template.
some ones that are really popular you like repeat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I have like, I don't know if you guys tried the pistachio
Oh, yes.
salmon.
Oh my
Yes.
god,
Oh
that was
my gosh,
so
I was literally gonna
good.
say
I actually thought
that.
that was amazing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was really, really good.
Everyone loves that.
That
And
was
like,
so good.
and
That
I'm
was
also
really
like
good.
cooking with like my Persian ingredients that my mother
Yes.
taught me, like saffron and
Yeah.
like
It
Russian
does feels very
spices.
Mediterranean for sure.
Yeah, I love
Definitely
the
inspired.
Mediterranean
I'm
stuff
assuming by your
cooking.
background.
Yeah.
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 Which like the Mediterranean diet is also like very healthy.
Yes,
But
exactly.
like amazing.
But
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
And then how did it work with you? The client comes and kind of gives you a vision of what I want my menu to be like,
Yeah.
but kind of gives you like authority to come up with the menu. So do you kind of see what's in season in terms of ingredients and kind of tailor your menu that way? Like how does
Yeah.
that process work?
I feel like every client's been so different.
Mhm.
Some clients are like, this is my event, it's this many people, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I actually am hiring you because I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. Like please take
Literally.
over. I trust you.
Yeah. They'll be
Yes.
like, oh, I don't like I don't know, cayenne pepper. But
Right.
do whatever you
But-
want. Like
yeah.
that's how it'll be. Or I'll have some clients that are very, very like specific on what they want. And I love working with those clients too. My goal in the end is to make like my clients' dream dinner, brunch, breakfast come to life. But I always love to include like seasonal ingredients. I think like using whatever like during like summer, whatever is like delicious, or during fall, like as we were saying, like pumpkin and squash and like I think it's like important to include like seasonal ingredients, but the clients will like always will agree with that. But every client is so different.
Yeah. And how do you
Yeah.
create the vibe? Like, do you just have a good eye for
Yeah.
beautiful things, or?
Honestly, I always make sure to get like, photos of like the home, and like I always do a consultation call. I like to make everything super custom.
Okay.
No one has had the same menu before.
Wow.
No one.
Okay.
And I don't
Wow.
plan on anyone having.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if a client reaches out to me and I, will have a consultation call, and if I know they're serious about booking with me, I will ask them like all the questions needed, and I'll create like a custom menu for their event, for their night. Whatever dishes I use will be like for that client. If I need to get new dishes for that client, I will. If I need to get new like candlesticks, I will. I also always need it to be perfect.
Yeah.
So I'll do like the extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. And obviously events can be really stressful.
Yeah.
Things can go wrong. What has been kind of like, I don't know, have you been had one time where you were like, oh my gosh, how did this get
Yeah.
pulled off? And it was crazy. And you were able to pull it off at the end.
I have two things. One that's funny.
Okay.
You guys are gonna literally laugh. Like 2 weeks ago, I had an event. I got home at like 2 a.m. I wake up the next morning, 7 a.m. to work again, obviously.
Oh gosh.
And every morning I like just feel my hands, feel my jewelry. My ring was missing.
No.
This is the funny one. This does not
Okay.
have as
Oh
much
my
to do with
God.
cooking.
God.
My ring was missing. This was like a ring I've had for like over 10 years. It
Oh
was
my
just like a
gosh, really
sentimental
sentimental.
ring. This morning I found it.
What?
Wait, was it in a dish?
It was in a dish.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Guys,
Wait, where was
how
like
insane is that?
That's
Wait, I'm
actually
so
How
insane.
insane.
I mean,
This morning, that was, by the way, that is the worst. That was like, when that happened, I was like, okay, this is like the worst thing. This is the only bad thing that's ever happened. I was so upset, but I moved on. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm very like, everything's meant to be.
Mhm.
I was like, everything's meant to be. I was meant to lost that ring. Someone better found it. That's what I told myself. Found it this
Was it like
morning.
in like did you bake it?
I
I think you're clean, like washing.
Okay.
Yeah, and it came off. That's when it comes off.
How
Like when
funny
you're
is
like,
that?
That's so
yeah,
funny.
that is
Yeah.
actually crazy. I love
While I was
that.
putting away my dishes, it was literally like on the bottom of
Oh, that's
like my favorite
crazy.
silver dish. And I started screaming. My sister's like, did someone die? Like, what I was like, I found my ring.
That
Yeah.
is so
That-
funny.
yeah.
Anything else where you had something go?
Wait,
kind
what's
of
the second
crazy about?
story?
That was the first.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
The second I need to think about, I feel like nothing necessarily bad has gone on like at my events. I feel like I'm also like, particular with who I work with.
Okay.
I think we get to know each other before, and I have like a good team, and like my servers, everyone, like we all just work so well together. I would say like the only time like times were tough was definitely like once I got back from my trip, and I basically made all my bookings for, the month I was back. I was like booked. And I landed, and I definitely like overbooked myself in the beginning, and I was just definitely like very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I was very overwhelmed. I was like, what, like, can I do like 4 dinners in a
Yeah.
week?
Wow.
You
That's
also had to do like a bunch of stuff to even build the business, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't
That
know.
was my
You're
thing.
like, oh my gosh, I have to get like an LLC. I have to
Yeah.
like figure out my
Yeah.
taxes. I have to
Yes.
get a website. Like, there's so
Yes,
much
there
stuff
was-
with that.
Yeah, there was so much to do. I was trying to like, of course, like build my social media, like
Yeah.
figure out all the legal stuff, still building my menus and like figuring out like what I need to bring to what client's house. So I think there was like this one moment where I had like 2 dinners, came home and had to like quickly start preparing for another one. And in that moment, I like really broke down.
Yeah.
Like my body was just like done. And I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I don't know if I could do this. And then I literally like called up my mom. She gave me like the cutest advice.
Yeah.
Like, and I just like got back up on my feet, and it definitely like taught me a lot. I think even though I am, like a private chef and like I'm delivering like a service to people, you should never like overbook yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's also something you have to figure out,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah,
mean, for sure.
I
And,
figured
like,
it out now.
Like, you're
But
like, yeah,
then
you're kind of like, you don't really know what to be.
Yeah.
Like, you're not sure what you
Yeah.
can do. Also, I mean, it's just you right now.
Yeah.
yeah, now I have a
I have
team.
Okay, you have a team. Okay.
But back then it was just me. It was
Yeah.
just Odellia cooking for like 30, 60 people 4 times that
gosh.
week. This was the week I got back. I was like, what am I doing?
It's so physically taxing, even like
Yeah.
chopping
That's
up
the thing.
vegetables,
Yeah.
like running around. You're
groceries,
just like
cleaning.
sitting.
Yeah. So my first
Yeah.
few weeks I was like getting literally like 2 hours of sleep a night.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I was like, but now I've learned the system. Again, I
Yeah.
have like a team. Like I've learned like I need someone to help me like load the car. I have like someone help me like unload my car. I have like several sous chefs and servers. Like I like from that moment I realized like it was a priority to like build my team. Like I need help.
Yeah.
I could now that because it moved so quickly, like it wasn't something I could do alone anymore.
And how did you
Yeah.
build your team?
How did I build my team? Shout out to my team. But so I have like amazing sous chefs that I switch off with, like depending on the dinners. I met them, so I knew like a chef who introduced me to a chef who introduced me to another chef and another chef. So really through like this community, I met like such amazing, talented chefs. They are like so amazing. And then I met my servers through an event. I did an event and they were just like so. I was actually like, I was really like, honestly, all my early on events when people would bring their servers, I was like low key like interviewing them all and like seeing like how they would help me. And then finally, I had this one event and it was a mother and son duo. And they were just so, they were so like respectful and helpful. And they just like, they knew exactly what I needed at every point. So they're now on my team and they come to all my events and they're
Aw.
just like, they're amazing. They really are amazing. Yeah.
I love that. Well, I know you had such great partnerships. We
Yeah.
mentioned obviously Coconut Cold,
Mhm.
Rent the Runway.
Yeah.
What are some of the favorite dinners that you had and what brands?
Ooh. Oh, they've all been so amazing. But I know we mentioned the caviar dinner.
Yes.
That was just so like amazing and fun and rare. Like I think it's not often you get like 4 pounds of caviar to cook with. Other fun dinners. I have a lot of good ones coming up. Let me think. I feel like my first few would definitely like hold like just such a like special place in my heart. I feel like those clients who, you know, even there was like this young girl in like Long Island who trusted me with like her birthday so early on. I feel like my clients early on who just like trusted me, were just like so special. Yeah, the rest of them they're just also equally special. It's hard to
Can't pick
choose.
a favorite.
It's hard to choose. It's hard to choose a favorite.
Because
You
they're so
know.
different too.
Yeah, whether it's like a brand or just like, you know, a cute couple like in the city, like they're all just so special. Yeah.
And obviously you're growing so much. It's amazing. What's next for Mize Dining? Like what are like
What's
some of the things you
next?
would love to have
Yeah.
happen?
I think definitely brands are starting to reach out to me. I think that's something like fun to explore always. Definitely continuing to like build my clientele and my social media and me not just as like a private chef, but as a brand. I think after I did a few dinners, I realized like I'm not just like a private chef. I've become like a brand with like a social media presence. But also something really special I've noticed is I've had clients who like have been like repeating clients and I hope to continue being like loyal to certain clients and continue working with them. I've had clients who have come and asked me to not only do like their mother's dinners and their cousins' dinners and their daughter's dinners, but have asked me to like join projects of theirs. So I think just continuing to like build relationships with my clients is like so special. Yeah, but down the line, like who knows?
No.
Oh my god,
Who
cookbook for
knows?
sure.
Maybe a
TV
cookbook.
show
I'll finally
Yeah.
give that
Tessa.
salmon
Oh my
recipe.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah.
this was so amazing, Delia. Honestly, like I
Thank
loved this
you.
episode. Has been amazing to have you on. We always end on this question. We have a lot of young listeners.
Mhm.
What advice would you give a young person looking to start their own business?
What advice? I feel like, as I mentioned, I feel like there's two. I feel like there's a more generic one, but I feel like I have to say it because it really helped me find my path, but really doing what you love. And I know everyone says that a lot, but the only reason I'm willing to like wake up every morning and like chase this dream of mine and like work so hard and put so many hours into it is because I truly like love to cook and I love like everything I'm doing. So I think that's so important for anyone who's like, you know, considering like leaving their job or like trying to figure out what's next. Like don't like take the simple path. You know, it's so easy to just like go apply to jobs and like, you know, land that interview. But I think like take the risk. Like you owe it to yourself. You only like are in this world, not to be like corny, but you're only like in this world once. Like you really owe it to yourself to, you know, make every day so special. And I think work takes up such a large amount of our time. So I think like it's important to just like wake up and do something you love.
It is.
And I think the second one, I mentioned it earlier, and this was like an advice one of my first clients gave to me is to really like build on the relationships you have. I couldn't do this without like my first few clients who I still work with. And also like the support of like my family and like my friends. Like your circle is just like everything. And it would really help you like succeed.
I love that. Awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Odellia. This was amazing. Where can we find you?
You can find me on MizeDining.com. Oh wait, actually, wait. I don't even know.
At Mize
Yeah,
Dining.
MizeDining.com and at Mize Dining. Okay.
At Mize Dining.
Okay, great.
Instagram at Mize Dining.
Okay.
And my TikTok that I just made like a week ago,
Yes.
also Mize Dining.
That's awesome. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much. It was amazing
Thank
to have you. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. As always, find us at Womansplain Pod on all socials and email us hello@womansplainpod.com if you have any questions. And hire Odellia.
Hi, Odellia.
Thank you so much.